guys, Lori here. I'm back. It is after ALA Midwinter Witch. Boy, was that an experience. It was so fun. I've never been able to go like week-wise. It just never has worked out, but I was happy to go. This year it was in Philadelphia. I did take a bunch of video clips for you guys, and I have so many books to show you. The thing with this convention is that it was a lot farther from my house than normal. I also did utilize sending books to myself, and some of my books I wound up leaving at my friend's house. So in the next month, I will get all my books. But I did get a lot of books. I really love this convention. It was so much fun. I will admit I'm a little bit frazzled. I was sick the day before I left for ALA. So I missed a few days of work, and then I had a professional development day, which I wasn't at my job, so a little bit frazzled. I'm trying to get everything all ready for tomorrow, but I don't know what I'm going to walk into. But I am pleased to report that I did wind up finishing 2 books over the weekend. One was The Stormkeeper's Island by Catherine Doyle that I started Thursday night. That took me a lot longer to read. Coming off of like a very well-received fantasy that I loved. This one was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. I don't have the book to show you, but I will definitely be reading book 2. I really do like the characters, and it will be in my January mashup review when I do it, because I'll do that later in the week. My content might be a little bit off this week just because the end of the month is like the end of this week. So I won't have time to film anything for you guys until Friday. But I did want to say that I did wind up finishing my first read of ALA, and that was What I Like About You by Marissa Kantar. Now, guys, this book is made for book lovers. Like, I know I say that about a couple of books, but boy, this book, if you are involved, if you're a reader, if you go to conventions, if you go to BookCon, this book is made for you. I love this book. I really love it. I'm definitely going to get a physical copy, probably even going to get an audiobook. I really, really enjoyed this book. This book is coming out in April from Simon & Schuster. And I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a brief summary because I did want to finishing it. But it basically follows this girl named Haley, and she is very involved in the book world. Her grandma was a publisher for YA novels. Her grandmother has recently passed away, and her parents are like documentary filmmakers. So for preparation, she's gonna move in with her grandfather and her younger brother so that she can have a senior year of normalcy, because her parents have a job where they travel a lot. But Haley is also very well known in the booksternet world. She has a she has a bookstagram, she has a blog, she's a reader, and she has this blog where she goes by the name Kells, which is not her real name, and she winds up having a best friend, a boy named Nash. And they're friends, they talk all the time online, but life throws an unexpected curveball in Haley's direction when Nash actually is living in the town that she just moved to. Hilarity, drama, it is so much fun. This book is a little bit over 400 pages, and I flew through it. I read it in like less than a day. I read it on the train ride home back from my friend's house in Philadelphia. I love this book. If you have been to BookCon, if you hunt down arcs, if you go to conventions, if you love a romance that is kind of a non-traditional, like not like a non-traditional, but like a unique format of a romance, if you like, this book has such a unique love triangle that I really, really like. But if you love books, the book world, if you do Bookstagram, it is just so well done. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in my review when I do it this week and when I do it in my wrap-up. But guys, this book was adorable. So I'm going to go figure out what I want to read next. I have fallen a little bit farther behind on stuff than I wanted. I am deciding. I did pick my February TBR, but I think I'm going to pick something that's kind of going to deviate from my February TBR because I want to read all romance books for the month of February, and this book is not a romance on the traditional sense, and it's also one of my most highly anticipated books of the convention. So I'm going to go pick that up, and I'm going to come back and tell you guys about it. Bye. Said my next reading month is going to be mostly contemporaries, and I did want to pick up, this is a little bit of spoiling my book haul, but I did wind up getting a copy of Aurora Rising at ALA, and I am so excited for this book. I loved this is Aurora Burning. I loved Aurora Rising, which is this cover. I read it last summer when I went on my road trip with my cousin. Flew through it. This was one of my most highly anticipated books at the convention. I'm going to start reading it right now. I'm really excited. One thing I love, and I love that books are doing this. They are putting a summary in the first page. Maybe it's because this book actually makes sense to give you a summary, like the way that the book is structured. But I really did fall behind on BookTube this week because I was not home to watch the videos. So I'll put that on as background noise, and I'm going to dive into this book. I really hope to finish this before the end of the month, but if not, I'm just going to savor it. I really, really love their first book. I love the characters. I'm hopeful that this book is just as exciting, and I'm going to go read. I'm going to definitely at least read the summary of the first book, because I think that's how this book is structured. But I will keep reading if I feel like I have a solid enough memory to keep going. If not, I might have to put this book down and pick up something else and maybe re-listen to Aurora Rising. We will see, but I will let you guys know how I feel once I finish that section. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Guys, Lori here. I did actually make a little bit of progress. I got up to page 21. This is a book that I really want to read slowly, but I am so happy that this book did a really brief summary at the start of it, because I think it's so important. I'm really liking this book. Basically, this book is about a group of characters. In the first book, you have Tyler, who is determined to be a part of the Aurora Legion, and he is like the best and the brightest pilot in this whole galaxy. But something goes wrong that causes him to be the leader of a team full of misfits and rejects and people that no one want. They wind up encountering a girl named Aurora, who winds up being like a very different type of character. They wind up coming along a conspiracy and a bunch of other things, and that's book one. Book one ended on such a big cliffhanger. There's a lot of character elements that I was really, really shocked by. So I just started book 2. I'm on page 20. I'm really liking it. There's a lot of different characters in this book, and they're really, really specific. So it's definitely a slow read. I'm really curious to see how the impact of what happened at the end of the book is going to impact the start of it, because there's a lot of characters. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to keep reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Lori here. I am back. It is almost 8 o'clock. I just got home from work. Oh, I did a bunch of errandy things, but I am back to work. The day after a trip, I always feel a little bit out of sorts. So it was a little bit discombobulating, especially because you never know if the subs are going to follow the stuff you put them. I also don't have a traditional classroom, so I don't have a desk. So I always leave stuff somewhere, and they don't always find it. So I've just spent today making sure that stuff got done, which is okay. I just like to know where my kids are. So that's kind of what I did today. Then I had rehearsal, which actually went pretty well. I'm so in director brain. I was going home on the train, and I was thinking how can I do that a little bit better? So that's a fun part of doing the show. You always come up with different ideas, and I have some great kids that I'm working with. But I did wind up making a little bit of reading progress. I'm now on page 120 of Aurora Burning. Guys, I'm really, really liking this book. I really loved Aurora Rising so much. These characters are just growing on me. I'm loving the aspects of found family. I'm loving the situation that they're in. It's just such a solid read. I'm just loving the characters. I think we're getting so much more information. I'm loving the Magellan elements. Like I said this in previously, there's elements of a little computer that gives information about the world. But I think these characters are just becoming so lovable. And I'm really, really liking them. So I'm going to go back to read. I hope to update you guys before I go to bed. That's the plan. I tend to forget right before I go to bed, and I have been trying to go to bed early, but it is almost 8 o'clock, and I'm going to try to catch up on all my BookTube videos in the next 2 hours, and then I'm probably going to head to bed at 10, so that during the weekend, I can watch some shows, which I've fallen so far behind on. So that's the plan. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, I'm back. I actually came home a little bit earlier than normal on Wednesdays. I normally go work out, but I just wasn't feeling it today, and I wanted to dive back into this book that I'm really enjoying. I did make a little bit more progress on Aurora Burning. I actually wound up restarting what I wound up reading last night because I didn't feel like I was really understanding it, but I'm really liking it. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the dynamics. I'm loving how in-depth we're getting. I'm loving the new characters that we're meeting. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm really liking it. I always have loved their snarky writing style, and I just love this band of misfits. I'm really liking the mystery. There is some elements in this book that are like, I'm curious to see what the end game is. Like, they've basically been given elements that are like predetermined what's got like someone knows what's happening, so it's kind of saying like they know that this is going to happen. The big element from last book also was known to happen. So sorry, I'm being a little bit vague if you haven't read Aurora Rising yet, but I'm really liking it. I'm loving all the characters. I think it's really hard to pick a favorite because I'm really enjoying them all. We got a little bit more background on Zuli, which I'm really liking. Finette, we're also getting a little bit more, and I really love the twins in this book. So I'm going to keep reading, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Right here, it's about 8 o'clock, and I did wind up getting up to page 312 in Aurora Burning. My one prediction sort of came true, which I kind of predicted, but I really like it. Right now, the characters are in a really precarious situation, so it's like I don't want to stop reading. I'm really liking it. I'm loving the setting of this book. I'm loving how you have subtle potential Easter eggs from their other series, the Illuminati Files, in here. It's not obvious. It's probably not even set in the same world, but there's some like Easter egg moments that tie back to what happened in that series, which if you read both series, you definitely notice. I really like these characters like a lot. I think that they're very, very sweet, very, very like they're just a ragtag group of heroes that I really enjoy. My prediction did come true, though. I'm really excited about that. What this book is, this is also the first arc that I've read that I've actually noticed. Like, you know how they say it's like an uncorrected proof, so not for sale, and there's like typing errors. This is the first book that I've actually noticed the typing errors. I am really, really bad at that, but I have noticed it in this book. But I'm really liking it. So I have about like 150 pages left. I'm definitely not going to finish it tonight, but I'm going to keep reading. And I'll check back in if something shocking happens. I literally had my mouth open for the whole last page. So I really cannot wait to get back to that person's point of view because this book does have various point of views and we're going to a new point of view that we haven't been in before. So I'm going to go back to reading and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. It is actually Friday, so I actually have the weekend off, which is lovely. But it's also the end of January, so I have fallen a little far behind on all my planning for my Bookstagram and all that stuff because I was away last week. So I'm trying to make sure that everything's all set for tomorrow. I have to film a few videos tonight. So I'm actually going to go do that. And then when I'm done with everything, I will probably come back and let you guys know my plans for the evening. I don't know when I'm going to finish everything, but I did pretty much bring nothing home from work to work on because I knew that I had fallen a little bit far behind on like my planning for you guys. So I'm going to go finish my planning and then I'm going to come back when I'm done filming everything. So I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. So it is January 31st. So I wound up doing a bunch of filming. I wound up filming 2 videos, which will be up before this video is, but whatever. I just wanted to say that I was doing some filming, filling out my little Inkling design planner, and organizing everything. I did wind up reading 15 books this month, which I think is super impressive. I will admit I didn't really start show rehearsal until this week, and next month is a shorter month, but I did wind up finishing Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which was my most highly anticipated read from ALA. Tomorrow I am going to film my entire ALA haul for you guys that I currently have in my house, so those are going to be fun to film. But I wound up liking this book. I don't think it was my favorite in the series. I think I adored Aurora Rising. I do like Aurora Burning. I have so many questions about the end because it kind of leaves it off on like an unclear cliffhanger. I'll say that because the places you leave your characters is like you don't know what's happening. But I like that this book focused on them all. I like that we got a lot more information about them. I like that there were some unexpected elements that happened in the story that I just did not predict. I really do like these characters. I think that they're like some of my favorites. I love the group. I love the group dynamics. I love the setting. I thought the pacing in this book was a little bit weird, and the mysteries that were eventually like revealed at the end, just like I still am waiting for a payoff. I think I still prefer the first book, but I did like the second book, and I wound up giving it like 4.5 stars. I just wish the pacing was a little bit clearer. This is gonna be a book that I'm definitely gonna have to reread in 2020, like most stuff, and I'm definitely gonna re-listen to Aurora Rising, and then read Aurora Burning. But I was happy to read it. I actually do have to send this to a friend of mine because she really wanted it as well. But I really liked it. No spoilers. This book comes out in May. But yeah, if you want a spoiler review by May, let me know and I'll do it. I just don't know how people feel about spoilers. So what I did start reading. I finished this on the train and I had a little bit of a headache. So I wound up picking up, this is a graphic novel. It's called Carrie and the Night of the Forest. And it's just such a cute graphic novel, but I'm going to restart it. This was a graphic novel that I got from Random House Graphic, which is a new imprint that they're launching. And it's about this little boy that winds up getting stuck in a forest and he has to make his way out. I got like 150 pages in, but I think I'm going to restart it, and this will be how I end my January, and then I'll pick up a contemporary tomorrow. So I'm going to go read as I'm watching some much older booktube videos, and when I'm done with this, I will check back in. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm just checking back in. It's about 10 o'clock, so I think I'm going to put this book down. It's a graphic novel. It's called Carrie and the Night of the Forest by Andy Watson. I get this book at ALA. It's a graphic novel from the new Random House Graphic thing. This book doesn't come out until July, but I wound up picking up an early copy. But it is a really cute graphic novel. It's basically about this guy named Kerry, this little boy named Kerry, and he winds up getting trapped in a forest, a haunted forest, and he winds up finding a knight that's trying to help him complete his mission to get back to his parents because he's holding a box of medicine, and there was a bunch of creatures that are trying to thwart his path home. This book is only like 260 pages. I got to 134. I said earlier in this reading vlog or this clip, I have a bit of a headache, so I definitely do want to start a new book tomorrow, but I'm going to go to yoga tomorrow. By the time I get home from yoga, I'll be done with this. But I just wanted to say that I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to finish it. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to pick a new read for my first official read of February, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for another update. Bye, guys. Lori here. I'm back. It's early on Saturday morning. It's like 9:12. I actually have to go run to yoga and do a couple of errands. But I did want to say that I did want to this early this morning finishing Carrie and the Night of the Forest by Andy Watson. This is one of the books that is coming out in the Random House graphic line that's coming out this summer. This book I wound up really liking. I definitely think, honestly, I will really want to reread this book when it comes out in full color because a majority of my arc was in black and white. And for this particular story, I think it needed to be in color because I think you lost some of the details in it. But other than that, I really did like the story. I thought it was really, really sweet. It basically followed this boy named Kerry who winds up getting trapped in a forest as he's trying to find his way back home with medicine for his mom and his dad. And he meets a couple of critters that are trying to help him or not help him, as the case may be. This book reminded me a lot of D&D towards the end. I just really, really liked it. I found it super cute. I wound up giving this 3.5 stars, and I think I'll probably up my rating when I see the actual graphics, but really enjoyed it. So, going along with my Valentine Day month of books, I did decide to pick up You Say It First by Katie Cotugno, which is a contemporary novel that deals with politics. And it basically follows these two characters, Meg and Colby, and they are kind of, I think, on opposite sides of a political spectrum, and they wind up having some very deep conversations that wind up kind of transforming their lives and maybe leading to some romance. So I'm going to dive into this. I'm going to go get a pedicure and do some stuff in town, maybe go get some Bookstagram props for Valentine's Day. But I'm going to bring this with me. I also do really want to catch up on a podcast that I'm listening to. come home and film all my hauls from ALA. That's my plan for today. I really was trying to be good and not bring home a lot of work because last week I didn't get any work done, like work for you guys because I was at ALA. So I'm gonna go do that. Go to town, probably get some lunch, come back, and then film a bunch for you guys. And hopefully I will have made some reading progress. But I'll talk to you guys later for another update. Bye. Here I'm back. It's about to be 12:30, and I just wanted to say that I did make a little bit of reading progress on You Say It First by Katie Catugno. This book does not come out until June, but I am reading a little bit early as going along with my romance-themed contemporary binge that I'm trying to do in the month of February. So far, I'm actually really liking this book. I wasn't the biggest fan of Top 10 by her. I liked it. I didn't love it. But this book so far I'm really enjoying. It basically follows these two characters, Meg and Colby. They live very, very different lives. They're both dealing with some personal life issues. Colby's dealing with the absence of his father from his life. And Kate's parents just recently went through a divorce. Kate is very into political. She's very, very political minded. She has a job of cold calling people to reminding them to be registered to vote in the swing states. And Colby is one of the people that she winds up calling. And that's really all that I've read so far. I'm really liking it. I think it's very interesting, especially in the year that we're in. This is an election year. But I'm really liking it. I think it's very interesting. I love that politics are so important in this book. I will also say, as I say with all Katie Catugno books, at least the ones that I've read, it is very there's a lot of language in it. They do curse in it. They do talk about sex very, very freely. That's something that I really like about her writing. But if that is something that you don't want or you don't want your students to read, maybe don't recommend this one. But I'm really liking it. I'm about 46 pages in. So I'm going to start the long, tedious process of doing my ALA hauls. I'm going to have to separate it because if I have one video, it's going to be 2 hours long because I got a lot of books. And they're not even all physically at my house yet. So I'm going to go film a couple of, hopefully all those videos and set them up to be scheduled. And then when I come back, I'll be really just ready to dive back into this. It's just a really, it's a very gripping story, but it also, I'm just liking it. I just want to keep reading. So I'm going to go do some filming for you guys, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Sorry, here I'm back. It's actually almost 4 o'clock. I spent the entire afternoon filming my ALA hauls, which are going to be a lot of videos for you guys. You guys are going to be seeing them all in the month of February because it's a lot of content, and I wanted you guys to show you guys all the books that I have. Not even just for what I got and to be braggy, but just to tell you guys what books are upcoming in the next couple of months. All of them seem really interesting. I did make a little bit more progress. Sorry, the light. I did make a little bit more progress on You Say It First by Katie Catugno. I'm now on page 49. The characters have had their first interaction, which got a little bit heated. And I'm just going to dive back in and read. I am going to watch my older booktube videos that I need to watch, and then I'm going to choose a TV show to catch up on. So when I get up to that point, I will check back in. Bye, guys. Hey, it's Lori here. I'm back. I just want to say that I didn't get up to page about 95 in You Say It First by Katie Catugno. This is an arc that comes out in June. I'm really liking this book. I think I gave you a really, really brief summary, but you basically follow these two characters, Meg and Colby, as they had a random conversation one night, and they kind of keep on interacting with each other through telephone calls and messages. They are two very, very different people. The one thing I immediately like about this book is that it deals with the teenage experience, I think, really in a very honest way. I also like that these kids are a little bit older. Kobe's actually out of high school. He is 18, and so is Meg. So this book's a little bit aged up, which I do like. It deals with harder topic. It deals with a lot of political issues because Meg is very involved in the political life because she works for a company that wants to get you to register to vote, especially in swing states. Colby's kind of not in that thing. He doesn't think it does anything. And as somebody that has friends like that, I think that this is a very interesting read. I'm really liking it. It's very, very fast paced. I'm feeling a lot more connected to these characters, and I just think it's great. It's a great read to read if you are always arguing with someone about political stuff because I think it kind of gives you both sides of a coin. I just really like it. I think that both characters are dealing with harder issues. And it's dealing with issues like about finding jobs, and these characters are so different. They're both in two totally different places, and they're also making judgments about each other that I think is a really interesting dynamic. I did say this in a previous clip. There is a lot of language in this book. This book does talk about sex and stuff like that, which is pretty standard in a Katie Cotugno book, but I'm really liking it. I really just don't want to put it down. I think the political stuff is something that in the recent years I've become very interested in and very like captivated by. But I like how they are really discussing a lot of issues that in our society is like two edges of the same coin. Like some people have very, very firm beliefs, and I'm really liking Meg's character, but I'm also liking Colby's character. So that's my thoughts right now. I'm gonna read a little bit more. I am gonna work out tonight. I had like a rough week coming back from ALA. I didn't really work out this whole week. It was a little bit stressful, so I do want to do that. So I'm probably gonna work out and listen to one of my audiobooks, but when I come back, I will let you guys know about my progress. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Guys, Laurie here. I'm back. I did wind up listening to the end of the chapter in Harry Potter where he gets the writing on his hand from Umbridge. I have to say, Harry Potter is by far my favorite series of all time. Like it just is. I always love reading about Umbridge because I honestly think she's like a more vindictive villain than Voldemort is sometimes. Like what she does is so cruel and so horrible, and like she like makes me want to like throw my book across the room. But I just finished listening to that chapter, and now I'm doing a reread with MuggleCast now for that book. But I'm gonna hope to start Gemina tomorrow when I walk to yoga. I actually have to do a bunch of stuff tomorrow morning when I wake up. I'm gonna try to wake up a little bit earlier than I normally do so I can get some errands done. I got a lot of my filming done today, which is great. But I'm gonna dive back into You Say It First. I'm still on page 95, so I'm definitely gonna get up past page 100 tonight and see how far I can get. It's just 6 o'clock, which is pretty good. I feel pretty energized and rested, so I'm gonna keep reading and keep watching older booktube videos. When I get to the end of my booktube videos, I'll probably check in and let you guys know what I'm gonna watch because I'm really far behind on my TV shows. Always happens, but I didn't watch anything last week, so I'm really, really far behind. But I'm gonna go read, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Larry here. I'm just checking back in. It's about 7:30. I just wanted to say that I did make a bit more progress on You Say It First. I got to page 144. I'm really loving these characters. I think that their lives are so drastically different, but also their lives, they have the ability to like, have you ever met somebody that is really good at like finding out like what's wrong with you or like asking questions that you never thought of before? That's what these two characters are to each other. I really like it. I think the political undertones in this book is really interesting, and I like how these characters are really so different, but they're political, like not even they're political, but their thoughts about democracy really are like so interesting and also so common in today's days. I think these characters are also going through a lot of like life changes that really make this book really interesting. These characters are also a little bit older. Like Katie's in high school, but Colby's not. He actually graduated, so I think their ages are not ages that you always see in YA contemporaries. Like you always see summer before college, but I think these characters just are a little bit more mature than I normally read in YA contemporaries, so I'm really liking that. The friendship dynamics are super interesting. There's a couple of predictions like in Katie's friendships dynamics that I kind of saw coming a little bit, but I think that it's like it's not overblown. I think the situations are very, very realistic to things I've seen happen in my own life. So I'm gonna keep reading and maybe get up to page like 200 tonight. That would probably be like a goal. But I'm gonna keep reading. I'm also watching some older booktube, and then I'm finally gonna choose a TV show to watch. I have about 5 more videos I need to watch, so that's gonna be my priority for the evening. But I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. So I am still reading. It's about 8 o'clock. I did get up to page like 155 in You Say It First. I really am liking this book. But funny story, my I've known this guy for like years. He's like best friends with my cousin, and he gave me the big auto book of the entire Golden Compass series like 3 years ago. And I have read the first 2 books in that series, and I love them. but I never wound up reading the last book because I was too emotionally distraught at the end of The Subtle Knife. Now my cousin wants to read them and I'm being yelled at because I never read the book. So, oh, so many books to read. But I do have to really find that book for him. I think it's in my shed and I have to go find it tomorrow. So that'll be a project I have to do this weekend. But I do want to say that I am liking this book. I think the dynamics between the characters are just so compelling. And you can really tell, like even just like as friendship dynamics, I'm loving these characters. I think that sometimes you find someone that like really gets you, and it's not someone who's in your every single day life, someone that you talk to every single day. I've had situations like that, and not even romantically, but like I've met friends and I've had friends that I don't see every single day that I just literally talk and would like complain at for like whenever we talk, and those people are the people that get me the best, but I don't see them every day, and that's kind of what I feel about these characters. And I think that because they're so different and they live such different lives, I'm really feeling connected to that, and I do like their friendship. I think their friendship is really unique, and it's like what they say really does poke holes in that person's life. Like, well, why are you doing that, or why aren't you doing that, or why are you letting the people treat you like that? So I think that their dynamics is just so interesting. And a interesting part has come up, so I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm just gonna keep reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. It's Lori here. Sorry, my dad turned off my light, and I'm being a little bit lazy to get up. But I did want to say that I did get up to page 184, and you say it first. And I will admit, like, this book is so important right now. Like, it just is. I've had, like, basically, there's they're having very intense conversations, and I've had intense conversations with people like this in my life, and they don't always go the way that I want to. I have different political thoughts than people that I live with and people that I'm friends with. So, I've been friends with people that don't vote, which is a really, really big problem for me. I've been friends with people that strongly believe in the side that I don't believe in. So I've had conversations like this. I've been in rooms with these conversations. I've been the person on that side of the conversation. And it's just so hard because you sometimes want that other person to just see things your way. And like Megan, I have a very hard time of seeing other people's opinions. I try very, very hard, but it doesn't always work. And I can see the frustration in both these characters, and I think it's so realistic. And I'm really enjoying it. I also like how, like, you do get both characters' point of views. I think it would have been very, very easy for Katie to just write from Megan's point of view, but I really like that you're also getting Colby's point of view. And you're seeing Colby as a person, even though Colby is not necessarily a person that point of view that I'm very, very familiar with, but I think it's really important. It's like when I watched the Bull Type and they had the gun episode with Sutton, very, very similar, that you actually see these people outside of their beliefs, which I think is really important. But I'm really liking it. I'm on page 184 and I'm gonna keep reading. But yeah, back to reading I go. Hey guys, Lori here. It's 10:05. I did actually surpass my goal. I did get up to page like 227. I am going to keep reading because I am watching Haley and Booksland's moving vlog. I am going to yoga a lot later in the day, so I actually am going to like do my blog stuff tomorrow morning. But the one thing I do like about this book, it does have a nice balance. Like, I love books that deal with like contemporary issues, like romance issues. I also like books that deal with like self-discovery issues. I also like friendship dynamics. This book has everything that I'm really enjoying. I think that it's a very complicated book, but it's also very, very readable and digestible. And I think that they're really talking about political stuff in such like a neutral way, I would say. Like, not neutral, but like I feel like you could read this book like in 10 years and it would probably still have the same problems that we have now. But it really is about like, not always agreeing with people. And I think that you can really learn from Meg how complicated her life is and how, her love of politics is just really something that's very, very interesting. I'm liking the way her story is going, and I think it's very, very interesting. She's also having a lot of friendship dynamic issues, which I'm really enjoying. Colby's actually dealing with a lot of stuff after effects of his dad's death, which I did not expect going into this read, but I'm really liking it. I'm probably going to read up to page like 300, or at least read to like 11:30, and then I'm probably going to head to bed so I can wake up a little bit earlier. I have 2 videos I still need to watch, and then I'm probably going to head to bed. So before I go to bed, I'll update you guys about my progress, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys. Lori here. I'm here to wrap up tonight's reading vlog. I'll be back tomorrow to actually finish the reading vlog. But I did wind up getting up to page 247 in You Say It First by Katie Cotugno. I'm really liking this book. Definitely enjoying this book a lot better than her previous book that I read, but that was a while ago. I'm really liking the characters in this book. I'm thinking that this book is really, really focused on self-discovery for both characters, and I always strive for that. I really like the political undertones in this book, and I really like the conversation that these characters have. I think they're super deep, super complicated, but also really realistic. I'm just really liking this book. I have about 100 pages left. I was able to finish all of my YouTube videos that I fell really, really far behind on, which I'm really excited about. So tomorrow I can actually watch some TV, which I haven't done in a while. So I'm going to spend the morning like doing a lot of book blogging stuff that I haven't had a chance to do. Maybe film a video if I need to and set up my Instagram. I did get some new like prop furniture for my Instagram photos for February, which I'm really excited about. Definitely hope to finish this book tomorrow and probably start my audiobook as well. But I will see you guys tomorrow bright and early. I'm probably going to get up around 7:30 and start filming around 8 or start getting up and doing things around 8. So I'll see you guys then. Bye. Hi, Lori here. I'm here to wrap up tonight's reading vlog. I'll be back tomorrow to actually finish the reading vlog. But I did wind up getting up to page 247 in You Say It First by Katie Cotugno. I'm really liking this book. Definitely enjoying this book a lot better than her previous book that I read, but that was a while ago. I'm really liking the characters in this book. I'm thinking that this book is really, really focused on self-discovery for both characters, and I always strive for that. I really like the political undertones in this book, and I really like the conversation that these characters have. I think they're super deep, super complicated, but also really realistic. I'm just really liking this book. I have about 100 pages left. I was able to finish all of my YouTube videos that I fell really, really far behind on, which I'm really excited about. So tomorrow I can actually watch some TV, which I haven't done in a while. So I'm going to spend the morning like doing a lot of book blogging stuff that I haven't had a chance to do. Maybe film a video if I need to and set up my Instagram. I did get some new like prop furniture for my Instagram photos for February, which I'm really excited about. Definitely hope to finish this book tomorrow and probably start my audiobook as well. But I will see you guys tomorrow bright and early. I'm probably going to get up around 7:30 and start filming around 8 or start getting up and doing things around 8. So I'll see you guys then. Bye. Sorry, my hair is a little bit messy. I just am in the process of like cleaning my room and doing some Bookstagram stuff. I actually finished my Bookstagram stuff and I did make a little bit more progress on You Say It First by Katie Cotugno. I'm now on page 256, which I'm excited. I really am definitely going to wind up finishing this book today. There's no doubt in my mind. I did wind up watching all of my YouTube videos yesterday that I had to watch. So that means today I can just literally watch whatever I want, which means I'm probably going to go dive into DC and then see how long that takes me. And then I'm going to kind of move on. I fell behind on a lot of TV shows. I also watched The Bold Type last night, which I was really excited about. So I'm on page 256 of this. I'm also listening to MuggleCast. They're talking about an episode. I got to page 256. I'm right at the tail end of the story. Like, I have about 100 pages left. I'm really, really loving these characters. I really am. I think that she's very much like me in some ways, Kate May, because she doesn't like conflict, and I don't like conflict either. So whenever she's thinking of something in her head, she's like, oh, should I say that out loud? Or I know it's going to cause a fight. So I'm finding that super interesting. There's also a lot of elements of like, you know, when to say something and when not to say something. And I think that that's a really important thing. Like when you should say something and when you shouldn't. When you think it's going to hurt someone and when you don't. I think the political undertones in this novel is super interesting. And I really like how Colby and Meg have a dynamic that even though they don't necessarily agree with each other, they are learning to respect each other. And I think that's something that we all should strive to do. And I have to strive to do that as well, even if I don't necessarily agree with someone's opinions. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm going to go finish doing my blog posts because I fell in a little far behind doing those recently. So I'm going to go do a week and a half of blog posts, and then I'm going to see what other errands I have to do. I do have to leave at like 11 to go to the gym. So I'm going to go do that. And when I come back, I'll have a whole day of reading. And hopefully I can finish this book and start a new one. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I'm back from yoga. I was planning on going for a bike ride, but it is just too cold. It's still a little bit too chilly in New York for me to go for a bike ride. But I did wind up listening to about 2 chapters of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I'm doing that reread with Mugglecast. But I did make a bit more progress on You Say It First by Katie Cotugno. I'm now on page 282. We're definitely in the climax of this novel. The characters are in a different environment than they have been in. They're interacting, which I'm really liking, and their worlds are colliding, which in this very specific book is super interesting. So I'm really excited to dive back in and read it. I think I'm going to watch Crisis, the end of Crisis, and then I'm gonna like follow through on those shows, and then I'll come back when I get up to like page maybe like 300 and let you guys know my thoughts. Catch you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm actually here to wrap up this reading vlog because it actually got like really longer than I had originally anticipated, and I am gonna do a readathon during the Super Bowl, which I'm gonna start like right now. So I just wanted to say that I did wind up finishing You Say It First by Katie Cotugno. I literally just finished it. I have to admit, I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely give this book like 4.5 stars. I really loved the concept of this book. It has some of my favorite tropes. It has tropes where these characters communicate for the first time through like non-facial means. It had a lot of political undertones that I really liked. I liked how this book had strong focuses on self-discovery. I also really liked that it was a dual perspective novel, which is something that I really look for in my contemporaries. I really liked it. I wish the ending had rounded out a little bit and we got like a solid ending and not just like an open ending, which I always kind of struggle with. But I really loved how Katie Cotugno really used politics as a baseline of this, and how this title, You Say It First, has so many subtle meanings that tie into this novel that I really enjoyed it. This book does not come out until June, but I would highly recommend that you put it on your TBR. So in this reading vlog, I wound up finishing The Way You Make Me Feel, Aurora Burning, and You Say It First. So this is my ALA readathon vlog, which I read a bunch of books. I'm going to go pick another one, but I'm going to call that my Super Bowl readathon vlog. So I will talk to you guys for my next vlog. Bye, guys.